Royal Communications Incorporated. Good evening and welcome to King's Newsroom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Friday, June 6, 2025, and I'm Newton to be presenting. Stories we following this evening. Authorities of the Liberia National Police charge Grand Union County District 3 Representative Jacob Debbie and Abu Kamara of Montserrat County District 15 with criminal conspiracy and criminal facilitation into the burning of the Capitol building. The House of Representatives Committee on Ways, Means and Finance through the Legislative Budget Office says Wednesday, June 11, as the beginning of the first quarter of the 2025 fiscal budget revenue performance public hearings urges the media, civil society organizations, and the general public to participate in the hearing processes. Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia stresses the need for transparent, inclusive, and evidence-based discussions and negotiations around ArcelorMittal proposed new mineral development agreement. Center Executive Director Anasi Miamen admonished leaders to prioritize the interests of the citizens above self-aggrandizement during the process. Away from Liberia, Ghana's former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been placed on Interpol's red notice list for allegedly using public office for personal gain. These are stories we're following here this evening on Newsroom. We'll take a very short break. We'll be right back. At this juncture, we cross over to Stephen Contant with the news bulletin.
The Liberia National Police has charged two sitting lawmakers with criminal conspiracy and criminal facilitation in connection to an alleged plot to commit arson. Those charged include Representative Jacob Dibi of District 3, Grangida County, and Representative Abu Kamara of District 15, Montserrat counties. Authorities of the LMP have confirmed that both lawmakers have been charged following what police described as substantial evidence pointing to their involvement in a coordinated plan to incite and support arson-related activities. It has been reported that the charges stem from a broader probe into recent incident of political uncertainty and suspected attempt to destabilize public order. In a related development, Representative Frank Safoko and Marvin Cole have been released by the Liberia National Police after an ongoing several hours of investigation into the December 2024 fire outbreak at the Capitol building. The two lawmakers were among 7 representatives, including former Speaker J. Funati Kofa, who was summoned in connection with the alleged arson attack on the Capitol building. Following his release, Montserrat County District 9 Representative Frank Safoko stated that the police investigation found no evidence linking him to the fire incident, noting that he was declared a free citizen. Representative Safoko added that he remains committed to upholding the rule of law and will continue to cooperate with the Liberia National Police as the investigation progresses. Also speaking, Representative Marvin Cole of Bon County District 3 said the LMP's decision to release him was based on funding that confirmed his innocence. However, he described the movement as sad, expressing regret over the indictment of some of his colleagues. The House of Representatives Committee on Ways, Means and Finance through the Legislative Budget Office has said Wednesday, June 11, as the beginning of the first quarter of the 2025 fiscal budget revenue performance public hearings. In a release Friday, the House Press Bureau says the hearings will feature performance or appearances from key revenue-generating agencies to provide performance updates for the first quarter of the fiscal year. The release named the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the Liberia Revenue Authority, National Port Authority, and the Liberia Telecommunications Authority as the first government institutions to provide their budget performances. The release added that the exercise will be followed by the Liberia Maritime Authority, Liberia Petroleum Refinery Company, National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority, among other ministries and agencies. Meanwhile, the House, through its Committee on Ways, Means and Finance, urged the media, civil society organizations, and the general public to participate in the hearing process. The Center for Transparency and Accountability has stressed the need for transparent, inclusive, and evidence-based discussion and negotiation around the Aslameta-approved new mineral development agreement. In a release issued Friday via his official Facebook account, Center Executive Director Anase Mianin emphasized Liberia's desire for investor and investment in mining, forestry, agriculture, and other critical sectors. However, the Center boss noted that such investment must be truly mutually beneficial and should seek the interest of Liberians, especially those who live in communities directly and indirectly affected by such investments. He recounted how past large-scale investment and their corresponding agreement whereby they negotiated with lawmakers, executive officials, and other accused of receiving bribe to approve them. It also expressed frustration over how citizens are being victimized over what he termed a leader's failure to put the citizens' interest above self-aggrandizement. He added that Nima County is no exception, especially the operation of Aslam Meta, which now under scrutiny for not going, that doing enough for the people of that area. Operation aimed at validating a 5-year strategic plan on addressing food insecurity for the needy and strengthening the mandate of the NFAA. Speaking in an interview after the opening section, NFAA Director General Boyka Salif said the discussion is intended to brainstorm on ways through which local and international partners and well-meaning individuals can contribute so as to address the food insecurity of the needy, the disabled, orphaned, old and disabled. According to Salif, the deliberation will solicit the view and opinions of stakeholders with a similar mandate and provide mechanism through which the NFAA can meet up its statutory mandate. Remarking during the program, NFAA program officer Amin Flomod disclosed that a 5-year strategic plan was developed so as to develop a roadmap and measured the performance of the entity. Madam Flomod encouraged the participant to fully participate in order to come out with a document that will pave the way through the NFAA to reduce or minimize the high level of food insecurity among the needy in the country. The deliberation, which is taking place at the conference room of the Ministry of Public Works, brought together participants from the Ministry of Agriculture, Education, Gender, the United Development Program, the World Food Program, Food and Agriculture Organization, among others. The representative of District 1, Monserrato County, has admonished residents against any act of disturbances as the Liberia Electricity Corporation is working to mediate aimed at connecting their houses. Representative Ricky Barry disclosed that LEC is challenged at donors will not continue to contribute funding in order to purchase mineral that the material that will supply the populace at once. Representative Ricky Barry spoke when the LEC Corp that embarked on massive awareness in several communities in District 1 Montserrat County on Thursday. Representative Ricky Barry encouraged the residents to exercise patience as all will be done to ensure that LEC connects their houses because she has received assurance from President Joseph Boakai. Margibi County District 5 Representative Clarence God has donated 20 motorcycles to the United Bollard Parking Motorcyclists fulfilling a campaign promise he made during the 2023 general elections. Speaking at the event, Representative God said the gesture was in recognition of the commercial bike riders' support during his re-election campaign. He noted that the cyclists play a critical role in grassroots mobilization and outreach during the election, especially along the Kakata Ward corridor where most of them operate. Representative God praised the cyclists for their unity, patience, and dedication throughout the campaign and reaffirmed his commitment to continue collaboration, encouraged the motorcycle union members to use the donated bikes for their intended purpose, stressing the importance of accountability and responsible ownership. The donation was made on Wednesday during a presentation ceremony in Perkins Town, attended by local chiefs, elders, youth leaders, and residents from across the district. At the same time, Margibi County Superintendent Victoria Duncan has officially donated two TVS bags to the Liberia National Police Margibi County Detachment to enhance their operations. During the event, the Margibi County Superintendent commended the County Police Commander, Patrick Kamuzu, and his team for their effort in fighting crimes, protecting lives and properties in the area. She disclosed that the fundings came from the county's development fund. She emphasized the importance of bags in support of the LMP in combating crimes in the community and beyond. Superintendent Duncan had ever used the occasion to call on citizens of the county to collaborate closely with the police for the betterment of the community. Receiving the bags, Commander Patrick Kamazu extended thanks and appreciation to the county leadership and promised to use the items for its intended purpose, noting that the new bags will significantly aid police operation, particularly in reaching hard-to-reach areas in the fight against crime. The news bulletin is back to you, Newton, for the continuation of the news program.
Steven. Steven, content of the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature here on King's Newsroom. What if you just joining us, a reminder, you're listening to King's Newsroom, the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we follow in this evening. Authorities of the Liberia National Police charged Grand Julia County District 3 Representative Jacob Deby and Abu Kamara of Montserrat County District 15 with criminal conspiracy and criminal facilitation into the burning of the Capitol building. House of Representatives Committee on Waste, Means and Finance, through the Legislative Budget Office, says Wednesday, June 11, as beginning of the first quarter of the 2025 fiscal budget, revenue as performers, public hearings, or just the media, civil society organizations, and the general public to participate in the hearing processes. Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia stressed the need for transparent, inclusive, and evidence-based discussions and negotiations around the ArcelorMittal proposed new mineral development agreement. Sinta Executive Director Niamey admonished leaders to prioritize the interests of the citizens above self-aggrandizement during the process. Away from Liberia, Ghana's foreign that's former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been placed on Interpol's red notice list for allegedly using public office for President Kiir. We'll take another short break and we'll come back and bring you the voices of the speakers. On our first development, two lawmakers were among seven representatives, including former Speaker J. Fonati Kufa, who were summoned in connection with alleged arson attack on the Capitol building. Following his release, Montserrat County District 9 Representative Frank Safoko stated that the police investigation found no evidence linking him to the fire incident, noting that he was declared a free citizen. Representative Foucault added that he remains committed to upholding the rule of law and will continue to cooperate with the Liberian National Police as the investigation progresses.
I was thinking this morning that I was going to be put to jail, but from the investigation and from what I heard from the police, nothing is on me. They have not shown, they can't show anything. There is nothing can be shown that I'm part of the fire incident at Capitol building, so I can go home. So I'm a free. I'm sorry to sue police. I think the police has the right to impact me as a person of interest, and as a law-abiding citizen, it is my right to come in. And once the police invite me, it is my right to come and explain to the police exactly those concerns they have. So all of those questions that were asked, we've been asked over the time. We were able to answer those questions. And the police just informed me that, there is nothing on me, Frank Safoko Jr., that is linked or connected. I'm a free citizen. I'm a Liberian. Whenever they need me, they will also invite me again to come and say whatever question they have. But for now, I'm a free citizen. Well, there are concerns. Whenever the police has concern, the police will invite me. So with the concern today, I came to answer. And today, for the first time, the police informed me that, you can go home. Maybe if we need you, we'll let you know. But there is absolutely nothing. A different question.
He's Montserrat County District 9 Representative Frank Safoko speaking. Also speaking, Representative Marvin Coe of Broom County District 3 said the LMP's decision to release him was based on findings that confirmed his innocence. However, he described the moment as sad, expressing regret over the incident or the indictment of some of his colleagues.
Well, I'm grateful to the Almighty God for proving my innocence. And I've always said I am a man of rule of law, and I will continue to uphold that. And I'm just grateful, and I want to tell my pastors, my family members, and friends who believe in me and my constituents that I told them I will never associate that with burning of the Capitol building. I have been clear. I am, and I've always been free. The Liberian National Police did not free me. My conscience and my conduct free me. So I want to be grateful to the Almighty God. This is a sad victory because the former speaker and colleagues of ours stay under detention and they are still being interrogated. And I'm hoping that the same God who set us free will be able to grant them the same opportunity. A charge to go to court. It doesn't mean that you are guilty of the crime that you are charged. You will have an opportunity to be vindicated. That is the process.
He's Broom County District number 3 Representative. They're speaking, Josiah Marvin Cole. Magui County District Number 5 Representative Clarence Guy has donated 20 motorcycles to the United Bolola Parking Motorcyclists for fielding a campaign promise he made during the 2023 general elections. Speaking at the event, Representative Guy said the gesture was in recognition of the commercial back riders' support during his re-election campaign. He noted that the cyclists played a critical role in grassroots mobilization and outreach during the election, especially along the Kakata 1 corridor, where most of them operate.
Want to say thank you. You know, I always tell people, they have a saying, the Nigerian men can pronounce it, the agreement are agreement. Give me that I run a Suzu. You put my own, I will put your own. So if I not put your own, I will still come back after you reject my hand. Right? Yeah. But if I put your own in time, when I come back to you, say no. You can still go the second round of the I want to say thank you to you. Again, most of the time when people criticize me, I don't talk enough. It means I'm weak. My strength is to listen, make, use out of the criticism, and see what best I can do and come out. Like I always say, I treat myself like a dump site. You go on the dump site, there will be Timo with there, there will be fish with there, wrapping food with there. But at certain time, you go to that thing, dump site, you take pommy from there. You take paper from there, you take program from there. So the dump site will take you there, it will give you something good. I hold nothing against anybody. In leadership, when people criticize you, it makes you stronger.
He's Magui County District 5 Representative Clarence Gar. They are speaking. The National Food Assistance Agency has begun a 2-day deliberation aimed at validating the 5-year strategic plans on addressing food insecurity for the needed and strengthening the mandate of NAFA. Speaking in an interview after the opening section, NAFA Director General Bokar Salif said the discussion is intended to brainstorm on ways through which local and international partners and well-meaning individuals can contribute so as to address the food insecurity of the needy and disabled, orphans, old, among others. According to Salif, the deliberation will solicit the views and opinions of stakeholders with similar mandate and provide mechanism through which the NAFA can meet up a statutory mandate.
NFA is not prepared to fail. Now with the 3 persons that the president has appointed, we look around and we see a lot of vulnerable people. We see that hunger is taking on people. People go to bed hungry. We're not saying that we can eradicate it, but let's have a plan that we all can look forward to. And then as time goes on, the plan will be modified, but we'll have something that we're working on. That's why the need for this. First, we want people to know that NFA exists. A lot of people have never heard about it. And it's not their fault because like the institution has been around since the 70s. So it's not their fault that they haven't heard about it. So first thing for us is visibility, awareness. And the president mandated us to reawaken, rebrand, and reposition NFA. So that is what we're doing this. There are plans. We've already have started. Last year, when we were named to the positions, we started to reach out. We've made several donations. I always tell people, go and visit the websites and the Facebook page. Our website is nfaa.gov.lr. Our Facebook page is National Food Assistance Agency. So once you visit there, you see things, ask a question. It's interactive. You can place your question and we'll get back to you. We'll answer it. Our phone numbers are there. You can call us. Anybody, feel free at all times to visit the office. The challenges we have right now is money with everybody, funding. I'd like to make example of the National Red Cross, even the Worldwide Red Cross. They don't have money sitting now, but they appeal to people. And that is what we're doing. We're appealing to people. We always say government, but it's not government alone. It's the partnership. All of us have to be involved. So our major challenge is funding. As we get funding, we expand. We've been blessed that association like the National Social Security Corporation, NASCOP, has come to our aid. Mwanta and IT office has come to our aid. Gemini Capital, they pay for our website. Just when we explain to them what we're doing, they pay for the website for 1 year. So there are other people who are, there's a lady, a Liberian lady who lives in the United States, Peter Lynn Killing Morrison. She has reached out, giving us cash. And we got the record to show as we do donations, we send the report to the person.
He's National Food Assistance Agency Director Walker Salif. They're speaking. The representative of District 1 Montserrat County has admonished residents against any act of disturbances as the Liberia Electric City Corporation is working modalities aimed at connecting their houses. Representative Rukid Barry disclosed that the LEC is challenged as donors would not continue to contribute funding in order to purchase materials that would supply the populace at once. Representative Barry spoke when the Liberia Electricity Corporation embarked on massive awareness in several communities in District 1 Montserrat County on Thursday.
I've been going to LEC, having some meetings and things with them. We made a tour in the district along with the LEC team. Like I said, they will not leave me behind. My people has advised me, and myself I will advise them, that you cannot only attribute it to the community leaders or the communities, you also have to attribute it to LEC. And we know that there are challenges. The challenges are, there will come a time where you will have a quarter point. A point where the donors will be tired and they say, oh, you know what happened? This year, I think we have done our best. We're living it now with the community. All of us, the coroner is coming, you are the one that are going to be enjoying it. So let's try to do the best that we can. Let's support the LEC and their team. Let's work together because this is a partnership. The community is partnering with LEC. The community is partnering with the government. And so we have to work together to make this happen for others to be able to benefit. It's just like when you go and credit money from maybe a club, the club put interest. If you don't pay that money, that club will not be able to credit another person. And so this is where we find ourselves. Especially coming from the kind of wars and all kind of things that went on. It's like, we're starting everything over. And you have 25 people sitting in one place answering these calls. Then maybe the 26th person call, you will not be able to get through the line.
She's Montserrat County District 1 Representative Rookie Barrett. They're speaking. What if you just joining us with the time half past the hour of Monday? You're listening to Case News Broom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Students following this evening, authorities of the Liberian National Police has charged Grand Juda County District 3 Representative Jacob Daly and Abu Kamara of Montserrat County District 15 with criminal conspiracy and criminal facilitation into the burning of the Capitol building. Also, Representatives Committee on Ways, Means and Finance to the Legislative Budget Office says Wednesday, June 11, as beginning of the first quarter of the 2025 fiscal budget revenue performance public hearings, urged the media, civil society organizations, and the general public to participate in the hearing processes. Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia has stressed the need for transparent, inclusive, and evidence-based discussions and negotiations around ArcelorMittal proposed new mineral development agreement. CITA Executive Director Anasi Meerman admonished leaders to prioritize the interests of the citizens above self-aggrandizement during the process. The way from Liberia, Ghana's former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been placed on Interpol's red notice list for allegedly using public office for personal gain. We take another break. When we come back, we continue with the developments. Better 2 days following Liberia's victory for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council, Broom County District 6 Representative Moiman Brice Mensah has called for the unification of the region and the Minor River Union member states. Representative Mensah described Liberia's victory as a pivotal movement for all Liberians and the African continent. She indicated that Liberia now stands as a beacon of hope in Africa and the world at large to shift global peace, human rights, inequality, and security.
First of all, it's a win for Liberia. It's a win for everybody. Because I know even the little child prayed that this work. And I was excited yesterday that was part of history 62 years ago. We didn't see this happening. So even if the next thing, and one of the things I would say is we need to make the most of it. Some countries are going 11 times. We are so 170 something years old. We just going the first and the half time because you know that the last time we went 62 years ago, Angie Bros Rwanda is another country that just fell sorry for all through negotiation and gave us 6 months. So we didn't win it totally. We didn't win, but they thought it wise to say being a founding member and how we always been supporting other nations. They did it. So all 190 some or 90%, and you had 81% voting for us and 9% didn't vote, but it was a good vote. So what we need to do, we need to use the seat to what unite, to unify the region, to unify the Mano River aspect of it, try to be a greater force with this Mano River. I think the Mano River is just being slacked down. So at Women Legislative Caucus, we need to also fund the Mano River Women Legislative Caucus. The same go to the government. I think we need to be more reports in the Mano River country to see how we can unite together. And if you all of Africa is a win, we need to come together and make sure to see what we can do to affect Africa. That other people will also look up to us, and that even the United Nations, the next 1 or 2 years again, when we want to apply for it, they will say, yes, Liberia made an import and they made a greater import, and this is what we need to do. So there are guidelines. There are things we need to achieve. So we just need to look at it keenly, and as citizens, everyone of our government reach out to the citizen, and we all get involved with it and make sure that this win shouldn't just be a celebration for yesterday and then we don't achieve anything, but it should be something that after the next 2026, we will be there to show the tangible and will be measurable on what we won and what we achieve and how much we can have a visibility in the United Nations country that anytime we apply for it, we will have it.
Also speaking about her recent engagement at ECOWAS 50 Ordinary Section in Abuja, Nigeria, Representative Mensah explained that the section served as an eye-opener on many things, highlighting ECOWAS achievements over the years, with Liberia being a founding member and a stakeholder within the ECOWAS member states. The Brown County District 6 representative lauded ECOWAS for providing 150,000 United States dollars to the government of Liberia through the Ministry of Health for the fight against mpox, a little over 500,000 for the renovation of the Bull Waterside Clinic and the construction of a bridge over the Kavala River to connect Africa Coast and Liberia.
Recognize everybody. So what I would say, I'm grateful to be back. Thank God. We had a wonderful representation. I always say it's a privilege to be on the representation of the region because it gave you more eye opener on a lot of things. So we just went for the ordinary section. You know, we have various sections. We have extraordinaries and we have ordinary. So we went for the ordinary section, and in the ordinary section, we also observe the celebration of ECOWAS as 50. ECOWAS just turned 50 years, and those achievements, things that they have achieved over the years. We are excited that Liberia is founding member of ECOWAS, and Liberia have continued to contribute to ECOWAS. So our relationship for the region and with ECOWAS is very good. We have few reports, delocalized meeting, like gender, where I am the second rapporteur, and security affairs and all the political affairs and regional trade and everything. We had a delocalized meeting. We were looking at the countries that are trying to pull up, the 3 countries, the Sahara. So at least we at least adopted a resolution with a recommendation from us, our committee and the rest of our joint committee, that we still take our time, even if they want to pull up, ECOWAS will not take a decision because this is my argument at the end of that meeting was the formation of ECOWAS is not about individual. So it's not based on precedent. It was about regionalizing these nations and the citizen. So if a president come today and make a decision and say they want to put up, we cannot hastily, we will always keep the diplomatic line open. We cannot hastily make a decision on the request. If they want to pull out and request that we leave the country, we will leave. But we will not say we have removed you from the region. So we stay keeping like silent, like mute, and until we can have another president, maybe that will be considerate because it's about the citizen. Because right now, the country that I pulled up, if you make a strong decision on it with ECOWAS, it's going to affect this trade.
She's Bone County District 6 Representative Moima Brice Mensah. They're speaking. The National Insurance Company, in collaboration with the National Identification Registry and the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, have disclosed plan aims at providing health insurances for 5,000 vulnerable Liberians under the pilot project. The initiative will be used to monitor universal medical coverage and ensure ordinary Liberians get proper medication and relieve them from medical bills. Speaking at Mika press briefing Thursday, LTA Chairperson Adela Kamara pledged the entity's support to the program and ensured that the proper technology is provided.
Today we bring you a very big news. For the first time in the Republic of Liberia, the government is initiating health insurance for the underprivileged and the most needed in the society. The LTS is pleased with the intervention of digital tools to support NICO, which is the implementer of the scheme. And of course, they will highlight the details on how that will be done. The LTA under the Digital Transformation Program is the key sponsor for the pilot project. And we're saying pilot because, as you know, it is the first time. There's a lot to be learned in this process. We don't know all the details of pros and cons of the program. So we intend to pilot with between 3,000 to 5,000 people across 3 counties to test the system for the next 6 months, starting July 1st.
Also speaking, the National Insurance Company Acting Managing Director Adula Swari said the pilot project will take place in Montserrat, Margibi, and Bomi counties, respectively. Director Swari further indicated that the initiative is not intended to undermine health ministry's workings, but to help buttress its efforts.
And this MOU signals the significance of interagency collaboration. It means that there is a national cost. Government institutions can collaborate and find an amicable solution that will be in real time. The war, as we see it now, you cannot in any way do away with technology. And with the threat of AI, how do we, the chairman explained that they will be launching a lot of digital projects, products in the coming years. How do we leverage technology to our own benefits? So that is the idea around it. And NICO stands as the race taker, and we want to urge all Liberians that this is an ambitious project, and the president is very passionate about this. And we, as a national insurer, we are only on a mandate to ensure that the president's dreams are realized. And I remember a few years ago when you always have doubting Thomases. When a few years ago, I think it was on Madam Salif, when Liberia contributed its first contributed to peace building by deploying some members of our armed forces, and you had a lot of debate that we're still struggling out of. We're still coming out of war. Our army is not developed and everything. Why are we sending our men, into harm's way? But that answer, those doubts were clear, And our men and women went over there and did exceedingly well. And Liberia today is, we are not remembered for killing one another anymore. We are remembered for things that the rest of the world is admiring us for. And that's evidenced by.
He's Abdullah Swari, the managing director of the National Insurance Company of Liberia. The Slum Dwellers Association of Liberia is calling on the Liberian government to use the observance of the World Environmental Day to put in place proper mechanisms that would address major environmental issues affecting slum dwellers. Speaking to King's Event Thursday in Monrovia, Bestman told chairman of the Slum Dad call for assessment of potential climate change effects and waste management with related hazard of flood. It also used he also used the occasion to urge the government to begin constructing public latrines and drainages in slum communities to improve the living conditions of residents of those areas.
Every year we have to experience flood. And this is the reason why on this day, Environmental Day, World Environmental Day, we are calling on the government to pay attention to the environment. The environment is getting critical for us, the slum dwellers. We are not living better living conditions. So we are calling on the government to do something about it. Right, and there are many things that the government have to do, but they can do it little by improving on public facilities such as latrines and drainages, and maybe provide some source there to fill in gaps that keeps the waters in the area. Yeah, these are cardinal points that they can. Yes, I think it's a flagship report because they have to do some assessment and come up with that analysis.
He's Bestman told the chairman of the Slum Dwellers Association of Liberia. And away from Liberia, Ghana's former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been placed on Interpol's red notice list for allegedly using public office for personal gain. This comes after Ghanaian prosecutors declare him a wanted person as well as a fugitive from justice as he was outside the country over his alleged involvement in several corruption cases when he was in government. A red notice is not an arrest warrant, but a request to police worldwide to detain someone pending extradition. Ofori Atat, who is said to be out of the country for medical reasons, has not commented on the allegations, but he has said he has been unlawfully treated. The AFP news agency is quoting Frank Davis on Ofori's Atat's legal team, criticizing the prosecutor's approach. Well, on that notice, I would like to go home on this edition of King's News, Bruno 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. But just before we go home this evening, let's remind you of stories we've been following. Authorities of the Liberia National Police have charged Granville County District 3 Representative Jacob Debbie and the Bukamara of Mossorada County District 15 with a conspiracy and criminal facilitation into the burning of the Capitol building. The House of Representatives Committee on Ways, Means and Finance to the Legislative Budget Office says Wednesday, June 11, as beginning of the first quarter of the 2025 fiscal budget revenue performance public hearings urge the media, civil society organizations, and the general public to participate in the hearing processes. Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia stresses the need for transparent, inclusive, and evidence-based discussions and negotiations around Asilomita proposed new Mineral Development Agreement. Center Executive Director and Asimiamek acknowledged leaders that to prioritize the interests of the citizens above self-aggrandizement during the process. And away from Liberia, Ghana's former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been placed on Interpol's red notice list for allegedly using public office for president gain. That's very super tonight on King's News. Stephen Cotton brought us the news bulletin. We'd like to say many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, news editors who helped deliver this package. Our sources, Sam Andrews, Sata Controls, and coordinated the sounds. On behalf of the entire team and listeners, to happy Sunday. This edition of the program is done. Thanks for listening and watching. Good night.